Hey, what is up, gang? It is Adam, and it is Proxy Time. Just double checking to make sure we are live here. I gotta actually pull up some stuff here to make sure things are actually moving the way they need to be moving here. Today, a little later than normal because yep, we are live. We're good, so we are good to move forward. A little later than normal. My pops came over this weekend, and my brother, my stepmom, and all that, and brother's kids and all that stuff, and so we grilled out, and it's my dad's birthday this week, so they stayed later than normal, or later, and actually I was working on some stuff around the house, so everything just got delayed. So but what I wanted to share here is I've been working, I know this is the third week I think in a row of doing the dual lands, but Lowry and I kind of have been workshopping some different styles of the duels, and I think I'm finally done with this. We have 3 different styles besides the original proxies that I made earlier. I have 3 different styles now of the dual land. So let me show you a couple of them that I finished. So you saw last week I did Scrubland, I think is what I worked on last week. Is that Scrubland? I think that's what I finished with. And then did the alternate thing with Scrubland. Well, so this was what, let me go over here. Let's get this. So this is Tropical Island. So what we used was the original text box from Tropical Island, and then I had to edit out all the text that was in there and make these boxes nice and clean. I had the full text box version with these are the unstable lands that are behind there. And they're my favorite lands of the basic land types. Until the next unset, Infinity, I like those as well, but I love these lands. So I'm really happy that we were able to use these as a proxy, but these were the 2 that I have, and I actually think I like this one better. It actually has turned out pretty good. I think I showed those last week. I got them sitting right here. So let's see if I can get you that. So that is one of that same one there. And then here is Underground Sea as a full text. So it turns out really good. Like, that's Magic card, you know, all that stuff. So I really liked how these turned out, but I also wanted to do a version that showed what the card was. You know, Tropical Island, have the name on there instead of Island Forest, so you have different variations of this, and this one actually might be my favorite. I love these with the text box. This is old school stuff, and that's why I really like these. But these are what I kind of came up with as kind of getting everything in there. So you can see we got the name of the card. So Tropical Island, either way it's facing, either up or down, it says Tropical Island. And then what I did was I took and I'm going to show you how I did this here. I took this, you know, the forest, the island, and we brought it to the center and faded this out. So there's 2 different kinds of styles I'm going to show you how I did here. Plains ended up being one of the coolest proxies of this, because let me show you Plains here, because we're going to work on that. We're going to do Bayou and Tundra. So I'll start with Tundra just to show you that. Plains, this landscape, this curve really does a cool thing when you're bringing this over. So I'm going to get started here, just work through this. Going to go through Tundra and Bayou. I'm going to start with Tundra because I want to show you what I'm talking about here. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, the other ones turned out good. The new ones, I don't know. These are all going to be my favorite, one of my favorite types of dual lands here, but I think this is my favorite, so we'll see here. So what I'm going to first start off with is we want to flip this upside down. So I actually have this partially done from the other ones that I did, but I want to show you from start to finish of how I kind of messed with this. So we first flip this upside down. We're good there. We're going to copy it, and we're going to bring it over to our island. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get to this background. We need to stamp the island background. And what I want to do is make it that fuzzy tool. And I think I'm going to keep it at 100%. And we want island to be on the top here. So I'm going to jump back to here. So now we get island there. Now this is where it gets kind of cool. This is where Plains really kind of takes as being my favorite out of the dual land thing, is this curve really really makes these cards pop. It just looks really cool. So I kind of get as close as I can there. It's with the faded tool. What you're saying, I like the same as you. I want to see the art. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Whoops, went a little further than I wanted there. I will say, I've had a couple adult beverages tonight, so this is going to be kind of a loosey-goosey one. Not that it isn't normally. My brother brought up some whiskey, and I've had my fair share of them. So, and I'm still got my glass here. But yeah, it should be this. So look at this. Look at this. That curve just looks so sweet. So then the other version, what I'm going to do, I'll kind of give you a heads up on that too. We are going to my Bayou. So I'm going to get rid of stuff so I don't have so much stuff sitting up here. So I need to keep that. So that's the plateau one. See, there's that curve, and that turned out fantastic. So we're going to get rid of that one so I have more room. We need Forest and Swamp. Forest and Swamp will be a little bit different. We now don't need the plains there, so let's get rid of that. Dad's B-Day drinks. Heck yeah. Yeah. Dad had a couple adult beverages too. I had to celebrate. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of... maybe I'll keep these up here just so you guys can kind of see them if I reference back to them. So let's get back to our card here. So we got that done. Next thing to do is, well, let's combine these layers here. I think that's how I want it. Yep, everything's good there. So we'll merge these layers so that we're all as one. Have you had peanut butter whiskey? I actually have had peanut butter whiskey. I like it to an extent. I can't have it. Like, I can't have more than one glass. One glass, I'm good. But if I have two, it kind of gets too peanut buttery, if that makes any sense. It's the same thing with peanut butter. I have a peanut butter beer that comes in the oatmeal stout pack that I get. And I love peanut butter. I love peanut butter so much. But in beer, it just isn't that good for me. I can drink it. It's just not my favorite. All right, so we are copying the text that we have here. And then we're going to shift this towards the middle. And I just like to use the arrow key to make sure that I'm kind of centering this. Now, it doesn't end up being center because the words aren't exactly the same length. So I end up having to move it. But what I'm going to do is bring it as close as I can to right in the middle, kind of make up the difference there. I tried doing it cockeyed one in the beginning. So I did this and I kind of sent it over to Lowry and I was like, what do you think? And it just kind of looked goofy. So, well, I didn't press OK so you could see it. So if I had it so it went right along the line like that, it just looks weird because it's like turned just off center. So we went back to this and I think this looks actually a lot better. So now we're going to go up to the island part, do the same exact thing. I'm going to try to get this as close as possible because then it makes the next part easier. Oh, we need to make sure we're on the right background. Copy, paste, and start moving it down. Now they won't end up being exactly center, so then we'll adjust once we bring it down there. Is there a particular peanut butter whiskey that you've had, Seth, that you like? I'm trying to think of the one that I had. I've only had the one brand of peanut butter. This is going really slow. There, it's moving faster. I had to zoom out a little bit. It's like taking forever. It's like the Austin Powers. See how this is a little off center? So we're going to shift things. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll do the same with planes so they're evenly spaced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. That looks pretty close. We're a little bit more on this side. But this lines up perfect with that. So, yeah, I think we're going to stay there. And I may shift this up or down. Let's see. Where's my planes? I think I'll shift planes down. We'll keep planes there. Bring island down a little bit. I think to about there. And then we're going to fade both of these down. We want that layer. 60 some. 62 is where I had the other one. Okay. So now I want to combine the layers again. I've been doing this a lot more, merging my layers. Had it at a friend's the other day. You can't remember because it was so good because you drank too much? Smoky maple. Maple whiskey is actually pretty good. I do like that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is let's fade in. So we don't want to be. We want to be way down here. So we got to still stamp our background. Oops, it's Alt. And then what I want to do is I'm gonna do the outer part first. Actually, this I keep at 100 because I'm keeping that small and not that small. There we go. So we're trying to get rid of our edges. So it's not so much a text box here. And this one will probably be the easier of the two lands because the other one, see what, after I'm done with this, I'm going to get rid of the island and the plains text because when I bring in the tundra text box, I fade that as well down to a 58%. So it's a little bit see-through. And if you have island and plains underneath, then you're going to see that. And so it's easy on this one because they're solid colors with blue and white. Black and green actually are the two hardest because they have see-through on their text. And you'll see in a little bit when I get, well, let me show you really quick. Swamp. See how swamp, you can see the tree branches going through here. Forest, even more so. So those take a little bit longer because it's more of a stamping instead of a painting. Okay, now I got to find back which one was the right one. Now I'm going to get rid of these because it's just getting too confusing how many there are. Need to simplify things. All right, so we're there. Let's shrink this even more. We're trying to get between here. Get rid of the text in between. Doesn't have to be perfect here. So we're just trying to get rid of the text box. There we go. And I don't think I'll get into there too much. I could dip into there, but I think we're good there. Because then what I'm going to do is zoom out enough. Now we bring this down to like 37%. And we will do the whole thing and fade it. See, now it's kind of blended in there. Now you can't really, when you're zoomed out to here, it fits perfect. You have the island, the plains, everything's working there. So, okay. So then the next thing we're going to do, let's get rid of those text down below and above. Plains, see how what I'm saying? It's solid. This is easy. We just grab the drop thing here and we click that. So we know we want that. Then we go to our paintbrush, make sure we're at 100%. And we just, oh, here's one thing I do want to do. I want to make sure I'm on the background. And then we'll do that. Now, there is a little bit of a different color here. So if we press Alt, you can click that, and it's giving me that color. And I'm clicking it again. So now we're getting that. And one thing I did notice is with some of these is look at this stuff right here. So we're going to clean that up too. I want that there. See, there is a little bit of color because the clouds are kind of there. And then blue does the same thing. Blue is just super simple. I wish black and green were simple with this, but they weren't. They had to be difficult and be all see-through and cool and all that. They had to be the cool guys. All right. And we are done. Not done with the card, just done with that part. Okay, so that is the beginning part. Now what we need to do is go grab Tundra. So we're going to grab that. Get that, just that top part. This is by far the most time I've ever spent on a certain proxy. Like this is like the equivalent of designing because I had to do a lot of prep on these, and they're turning out awesome. Like it kind of makes me sad. Those ones, the proxies I've been making for the past year and change, I probably won't. The proxies of the dual lands, I probably won't ever use because I'll probably always use these. I don't like how that's bumping out there, so we're gonna get that. There we go. Let's make sure we're all the way across. So I think I started that about a year ago, maybe even a little bit more of a year, a little bit more than 12 months ago with the duels and the fetches. And basically finished them up, and then I was like, oh, actually, I'm going to do a completely different design to duels. Okay, so now we're copying this, and we get back to island. So we're bringing it over. And we want to make sure this is the top layer. Get up there. And it doesn't fade away there. We're going to have some touch-ups I'm going to have to do there, it looks like. But we're going to make 2 of these. This one, we are going to flip 180 degrees. And let's get down here. So what I like to do is line it up with that edge. I think that's about where I want it. Oops. I want to just see what happens when I shift. So there's my line. I want it right. Just touching it. Okay, now we got to make sure we're centered. And this is just off of look there. It looks pretty center there. We got the same thing going on there. Let's move this one up. Blue's a little bit tougher because, like I said, the text box is pretty much uniform across. So it's a little harder to see that line. There it is. Right about there, I think. Now, are we even on each side is the question. Could shift to the left, I think, a little bit. I think that looks good. Just eyeballing it. Yeah, I think those look good. Okay. Now we need to fix those because they are funky with this stuff on the side. We already have our background stamped. Let's get our stamp tool again. What we are going to have to make sure is that we are at 100 and we are not on the fade tool. And we need to get on our proper layer. Now I could at this point combine the layers, but I'm fine keeping them separated. Yes, everybody just did the whole gotta keep them separated in your head. Just keep it there. All right, so we get rid of this on the edge. I do like to combine as much as possible, but these are separate, completely separate sides of the card. So if I want to mess with one, it's better to try to keep them there. When you tap for color now, you can turn the card and show the color that you're tapping. Oh, that's a good point too. Yeah. Yeah. These, tapping it shows which color you're tapping for. But yeah, I love the way, I wish they do the lands a little bit more like this, where they're more of the a flip style land. This black is getting a little bit thin up here, more than I'd like. Let me see how that looks zoomed out. Okay, it looks fine. I think I'm just being really picky on that. Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's hard to match the pictures. Oh, I should show you. Oh, hang on a second. I gotta show you. This is probably one of my favorite. Let's see. The duel was Volcanic Island. Check this out. This one turned out awesome. Look how that matched up. Look at that. They blended in so well together. Like where they ended with mountain and where island came in, it was just like, it's like they meant for these to be flip cards. Like that was one of my favorites to do. It was easy because it's right in the middle. You know, it's just like they blend into each other. So that's what I'm going to show in the second one is, I did a little variation. Which one was it? I think it's Badlands. Hang on, let me show you that one too. Just showing you all the stuff I made already. Badlands, I believe, is where and I'm not sure if I like it or not yet. You guys can tell me if you like it. See how this is the only one like that, and I was planning on doing that with Bayou as well. But I wanted the trees to come down further, and I wanted the mountain to come up. So this is the only one that has it shifted up higher. And these are further, the swamp part is further down than normal. It reaches the bottom of the mountains. But then this evens out because this pops up like that. So I don't know if I like it like this or not. I'm still debating. I mean, I can just go right down the middle, but I like the blend of those two. So let me know if you guys think you like that version or not, because that's what I'm going to mess with Bayou. That's what my plan was, is to do 2 cards like that. So Bayou is going to be that way. All right, let's finish meshing with this so we can move on to Bayou. All right, so we need, do I have my stamp there? All right, now we're on the bottom text box. We need to get rid of that. Yeah, you like, okay. I wasn't sure. I asked Lowry too, and he liked it too, and I wasn't sure if it's something that it's different than the other ones, but each one is kind of different in their own way. So I thought the blend of that is pretty cool because I like having the mountains dip into the swamp area. All right, get there and then clean up the top. I think we'll be set there. Looks like there's a little bit of white there. Good, good, good. You like the Badlands too, Seth? Okay. I wasn't sure. I wanted more consensus of people saying if they like it or not because it's different than everything else. All right, so what I have been doing is setting this to 58% on each of the lands for the text box for see-through. And then I am cheating a little bit. It just makes it so they're all the same size for me. Oh, get out of there. I'm bringing the logo over, and it was to this one. And dropping it because then I know it's the same exact size for every single one, and we don't have different sizes. And then we need to bring those all the way to the top layer because then they'll pop more. And center them in the right spot. Hey, what's up, bro? You're on too. Well, thanks for stopping in, Seth, if that means you're going to bed, I'm guessing. You need sleep. Thanks for the whiskey. This is the one, Joe, that is on right now is the one that got me the whiskey. And why I have a nice little buzz going on while I'm doing this. I wouldn't say buzz. It just it tastes pretty good. All right, so I think that's positioned pretty good there. And this needs to shift over just a little bit to the left. Let's make sure they both look about the same. Good. Okay. Boom. That is Tundra. We are done with Tundra. Now let's move on to Bayou. So Bayou is where we're going to do things a little bit differently. So we need to grab Swamp and Forest. We're going to keep Forest up and we'll flip Swamp. So let's rotate that 180. We'll highlight that. And this is where I want to mess with things a little more. So let's stamp Forest. And what we'll do is Fade Tool. And we need to jump back over to Swamp. So we know for sure we're going to get the top forest there. So now we need to start manipulating things a little differently. Yes, that was very much worth thank you for the whiskey. Might have a headache in the morning, but thank you very much. Okay, so now we're going to do what we did similar with Badlands. We're going to try to blend these two together. So this tree's coming into there. Can almost get, let's shrink this up a little bit more. Can I get these two to blend pretty good? One thing we can do to see through a little bit better. So we have the forest there, forest tree. I want to keep Swamp's tree here like that. So I think what I'll do is I'll dip down with this forest, this tree here. And I think that's the tree I want to have focus on the most. Let's see. Do I want to go that far down? Let's see how this is looking. That's a little too far down. I might be getting too artsy with this, and it might just be better to just go straight across. Like, is it just better to go like that? It might be, because all the trees going up and down. These blended well together there. So let's back this up. We're backing it up, and we're just going straight across. Okay, now we can go. I'm going to try to keep it 50-50 as much as possible. I kind of like how that blend there. Yeah, it's pretty good there. Straight. Okay. Did I go too far down? Back it up a little bit. Okay. I think that's a good line. That's a good 50-50 line right there. Okay. So let's do what we did before is we're going to bring the swamp and the forest in. Make sure I get the whole text there. So we did cut off. There we go. I'd like to keep this a little bit closer. There we go. And we are right in the middle there. Okay. Looks good. Let's get that forest there. There we go. Copy, paste, zoom out. Yeah, and these are going to be a little bit off. All right, let's see how far we got to move them. So forest, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And look how close those are. Ooh. No, I don't like that. Let's move it back a little bit. That looks better. Okay. So now let's merge those layers together. Merging it and fade it down. About 50. And we still have our background, but we need to shrink this up quite a bit. Yeah, we're live, buddy. It is live and working on the last of the duels. Now, this should be it for the duels. I should be done with these for a while until I decide I want to change something else with them. But I think these are going to... I'm going to use these for every freaking duel that I have. Well, I have every duel, but what I'm saying, every deck that I put this in is going to be these duels. And probably this version of them with the unstable. And actually saying Bayou or whatever the actual dual land is. It's hard though, because I really do like the text box ones, because it just brings back the nostalgia of actual duels. But these just look so damn good. And it's more so it's the unstable lands is what I like. All right. There. Yeah, dude, they're turning out really nice. What I'm really excited, I haven't done this yet, and it's going to happen here soon, is these in foil, which I haven't printed them off yet as foil. I was just testing out colors and all that, and then I got preoccupied in designing this that I haven't even gotten a chance to print these off yet. So that's what I'm really excited for, because I think these are going to pop, and the text box duels. Okay, so that's there. Ooh, that turned out really good. We're going to fade that down to about 30 some percent. Let's get this bigger. Get one fade in there. Maybe two fades. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. Here's the difficult part. This is what I was mentioning before. I'm going to go back one. I like it there. The difficult part. Because Forest and Swamp were the only two that didn't do a solid color. They actually made it see-through. It's not even that the other ones didn't. It's just like Island had blue sky going, so it was all the same color. Forest and Swamp have trees going on. So what we have to do is use the stamp tool, and we're going to... Oh, we got to get past we got to get 100% here. So we just got to stamp and get rid of it. The hard part is, the only reason I'm doing that, and I mentioned it earlier, is because when I bring in Bayou, the text box, I like to make that see-through. Let's stamp there. And I want this tree, so we're going to stamp up here. I want that to continue. That's the difficult part about this. But you're really not going to see much of that. I just don't want you to see words. So this doesn't have to be perfect, and that's why I'm not spending a crap ton of time on this. I don't like how that did that. Let's try to continue this branch. There. Okay, let's see how that looks. That looks fine because, like I said, there's going to be a text box over the top of that. If you had words underneath it, you're for sure going to see that when I fade out that text box. Swamp is a little bit easier. Forest was a little bit harder because it's very see-through. Swamp is at least dark. Ooh, get out of there. I'm going to back that up. I don't like how close that S got down there. Yeah, and the other colors are so much easier because they're just like basically one solid color. So all I had to do is use a paintbrush and paint through it. This I'm just trying to blend it through. Okay, I think that's good. Zoom out. Yep, okay. Now we need to go grab Bayou. And using the VMA whatever duals was actually really solid. They all turned out pretty good for bringing these text boxes over. They did pretty much the same thing with, I don't know if you guys have been watching the artifacts. I typically have trouble with keeping them in the lines like that. What I was just talking about just happened. All right, so we're going to have to mess with that here in a second. We'll clean it up. Just trying to get all the way across. Let's see, what's my cleanup? I might grab that actually and go all the way across with it. So we're going to shift it. We want to match that line. That's clean. Want to round that out a little bit. No, don't do that. I can fix this too when I bring it over. I'm going to probably, maybe not, because it is a black background. What are you doing? Why are you beeping at me? What are you doing? I think that curve looks fine. Let's see. We'll bring it over and see what happens. We are in which one? We did island. Nope. Forest. All right. Yeah, that actually turned out solid. I don't have to do much to that. So we're going to bring that over there. We're going to need two of them. Two. And 180. Oh. Sometimes the hardest part is getting that exactly at 180. Come on. Come on. Do it. Oh, God. Oh, it was there. I saw it. There. Boom. Okay. Stupid. All right. So let's get this down here. Let's do the bottom first. So we line it up bottom. Where's that black line? Right about. Try to see exactly where it's at. I think it's about right there. All right. Now we need to make sure we're even. How does it get even every time almost? Like I was just sliding it down there. Wasn't trying to put it right in the middle. I was just trying to get it right on the line. That seems pretty even there. Green's going to be easier to line up here. But we want to make sure we're right on that line. So there it is to there. Zoom out. That looks even too. Let's see. Maybe to the left, a click. But I don't even think that, I think that's pretty good. All right, so now we fade these down to 58%. 58. 56, 7, 8. Okay. Then we do our little cheating thing. I already have my symbols all written out. Pops in the right spot, and we get this. It actually went a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. What are we at? Yeah, we're only at 35 minutes. That's not bad. So to give you an idea, the duels, I'm going to move these up. The duels were taking me roughly an hour a piece. Now, the first ones, and that was with the text box, not these. These were a little bit quicker. But the text box ones were taking me, the first one took me 2 hours. And then I gradually got faster and faster with that. These aren't too bad with 15 minutes a piece. All right, so I think might need to go down just a little bit. All right, zoom out and see where we're at. Edges look good. Good. All right. There we go. That is all of them. That is all the duels. So if you really, okay. So let me get rid of some of the other stuff. So there was Tropical Island that I've done before. We just did Bayou today. Let's get rid of this. I'm going to kind of show you all of the ones that are done. There is Tundra that we did today. Let's get rid of this. And there is Badlands. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me show you the other ones quick. They all turned out pretty damn good. Let's see. We got Bayou, Badlands, Plateau. Call it Art just so I knew which one I was doing. Faded Text. So that's Plateau. See these Plains ones just turned out so nice. I love that curve. Okay, then we got Savannah. Where is it? Unstable Full Art. I named them different. There it is. There's Savannah. That one turned out pretty good. Let's see again the Plains. Scrubland. Let me get rid of some of these. Yeah, Scrubland I did last night actually. There's Scrubland. So I'm gonna. I didn't save the other ones yet. I just got to make sure I don't crash the system because I don't have anything saved. Taiga. There's that. It's pretty good there. Tropical Island, we already did that. Tundra, we just did that. Underground Sea. There we go. Thanks, Lowry. CommanderSmith says, so good. It looks like I'm saying how good it is. See, I did this a little bit higher with the swamp coming up here a little bit with that. And then I had this come down a little further. So this one I manipulated a little bit more than straight across. And then the last one, Volcanic Island, I showed you guys that earlier, but I'll show you that again. This one's probably one of my favorites, how that turned out, because it just matched up so perfectly. So... all right. Well, that should do it for Proxy Time, but I have to do a drawing because we have a new card for Stump the Smith Savant, which actually just came in the mail yesterday. So this guy, Ishin, with the foil alt art showcase art, is up for grabs if you guys can stump Lowry this week. And I am drawing all those names that we had. We still have all those names in there. We got more names in even after we got one, the big prize one. So this week, we are going to have our stumper. I'm trying to grab from the bottom. Just grab it down there. All right. This one. What do we got? Oh, actually, Matt just got his name back in there. Matt the Monorock is going to try to stump Lowry. Jeez. Matt, you have gotten a couple in there. So that is... you're getting lucky, buddy. You and Renshaw have been getting those in there. So Matt the Monorock is going to try to stump Lowry this week. Thank you guys for watching. Look for those foils. When the foils come out, oh, these are going to look fantastic. All of these. All 3 sets of them because we got like I said, the text are going to look awesome and these are going to look amazing. So, all right, that should do it for Proxy Time. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for watching. We'll see ya.